let's start up the next replay.
Okay.
This game was from the ISL round of 16. It was the first game versus Sziky, and it was the game you won. Zyky's pretty good, isn't he?
Yep.
He's certainly a powerhouse among foreigners. He even in the games he lost during the ISL, he still looked just really solid. Anyway, you've said on numerous occasions that you think your PBZ is your best matchup, right?
Yep. Just like before ISL and whatever, I didn't play for a few months, and I found that I'm very inconsistent lately. So like, I mean, some games I can outplay him, but as everyone saw, like I lost pretty quick. Well, not very quick, but I mean, I still lost the next 3 games after this, pretty convincingly. So I mean, I can attribute my inconsistencies to that. So I can play either very well or very poorly. I mean, not to take away that he is a good player, just that
Yeah, definitely.
I find that whenever you actually play someone, you can't put all you can't take away like. So I'm just trying to think how you can say that. Like, you can't just make yourself seem that you should lose. You should always try and feel that you can improve your play to get to anyone's level. Basically, is how I think. So regardless of how good he is in my own mind, I feel that if I play my best, I should be able to win anyway.
Alright. So, both you guys doing pretty standard stuff. I assume you'll certainly get 1 cannon before throwing down the Nexus. He went for an overpool, right?
Yeah, I actually was contemplating going 11 Nexus because it does work on this map against overpool, but for some reason, yeah, it does work. I timed it out against Iraqi a few times, but I was actually concerned that he would try a 9-pool in the game 1 of this series because I've seen him play a few times off of replays, and sometimes he does do 9-pool and then the extractor trick, and he'll make always 8 links. I don't recall this game exactly. I'm not sure if he gets links in the game, but I remember thinking that I probably should have thrown down the first cannon before the next one because I think something like that happens. But sometimes I'm like way too reliant on my timing, so I have occasionally lost just like this 6 links against 1 cannon.
It's really interesting that you could get off an 11 nex against an overpool.
Yeah, what you do is, I do it all the time when fighting Spirit too. You do 11 nexus, then you return the mineral at the natural, and then you go back and throw the 11 force, and then you scout. And then you rally the 12 to the natural to make a cannon or 2, and then you make a gateway, and then you rely on Sim City to block the links. The first cannon will finish just before the links arrive.
And it doesn't matter whether he scouts you first or not?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You can't do anything. I've actually showed on my stream a few times replay of me against Ace, and I do the Sim City wrong, but my cannon finishes before it's arrived.
This Sim City seems a little bit off. Not that there's I'm not saying there's something wrong with it and it's not link tied. I'm just saying it's different than any SimCity I remember seeing on this map. Aren't the cannons a little bit too unprotected? It seems like
they are and they aren't. I could have put the other cannon under the gateway, but I sort of used my cannons to block as well. Because if the cannon is there, they can't really get a link run by if I put it still under the gateway. They can only attack like a corner of the cannon. So I sort of use that as part of my SimCity, and then I'll mine out the mineral later.
And goons can get out on the right side?
No, but
No?
Once the mineral is gone, everything can get out.
Okay.
Yeah, I only practiced build for this map. I didn't really practice the placement. That's why you see the cybercore at the natural and some sort of awkward arrangement. But I just planned on what build I was going to use instead of the SimCity.
Alright. And as we're getting to that point in the game, what build did you want to use on this map?
Well, I saw a pro game where this guy did Arbiter Rush, and I sort of just my ear on how to do the build. I didn't really watch any replay or anything like that, but basically, I figured that this map has a lot of pathing, so it's quite easy to maneuver around with your aggressive forces and keep him defensive. So I figured that if I got Zealot Speed, basically mimic the build, I get Zealot Speed +1 and I get lots of Corsairs with +1 as well. I can go around the map and be aggressive and keep him defensive until my Arbiters are out. And basically how it works is you'll get all your upgrades as quick as possible. And I simply have around like 4 or 5 Corsairs to start adding gateways, and then after you have 4 gateways, you will get your Templar Archive, and you can build 4 High Templars at the same time. And basically, they'll have 1 to 2 storms each, depending on what time he attacks. But if you keep him occupied, it's quite safe, and it's quite adaptable, so I figured that the build is pretty good, especially for a map with range like this.
That's a great way to start off any sentence. I saw this one pro game where this guy did an Arbiter Rush.
Yeah, it was inspirational, so I decided why not. If you can do it, I can do it.
Hey man, you are certainly good enough that I just can't argue with that. Alright.
Yeah, I also noticed that in all his games, he did very fast gas. It kind of threw me off because I have played him before when I was like rustier, and he switched up his build and his SimCity a lot. So
yeah, that's
kind of threw me off quite a bit, and his fire timing was earlier than expected. So like in the other game, I was kind of thrown off by it, and after I lost on I believe the 3rd game of Circuit Breaker, I was kind of mentally torn a bit because I was not anticipating him to play like that. But I had a good start. I just couldn't keep my momentum.
The Arbiter Rush is a trick that only works once.
Well, it's surprising actually because I used it on Scan and Zaraki like days before, and I used it on Ladder a few times, and the success rate was 100%. But I didn't use it on the same person more than once. But I still see like he does even scout it, and I still am successful with it. It's just because of the way the map is laid out and where you recall. If you recall just above the natural, the choke is very narrow, so if you get a good composition in your recall, along with the Corsair to eliminate overlords, Zerg can't really do any scouting on close units, so it makes your strategy very, very strong. In the map that was used for the pro strategy was Polar's Rhapsody, and the natural has very weird setup, so it's very hard to get back into your main from the natural once you've SimCity, and it's ramped, so it's even harder to break once you do get recalled. So I figured this is map setup is quite excellent for the strategy. Also, like at the 3rd mineral there is where you set that there on the race platform. It's normally where you set all your rallies, so the majority of the time your army is going to be in this area, which is really far from the point of where I'm going to recall. So I figured that as well makes it for a good strategy.
The way you're talking about this recall, I'm going to have to put in a disclaimer at the beginning of this video. Warning, the builds seen in this video are done by professionals. Please do not try these builds at home.
Yeah, well, I'm sure plenty of people will try it anyway.
I'm sure. You know what? If after this comes out, there are more Arbiter Rushes in PvZ, I think this is a success.
We'll see. Apparently Sale does it too, but he likes to camp a lot more in PvZ, so I mean it does work as well with that style. But I wanted to go for like sort of like a mid-game ender. Like the timing in which it comes is normally just before Hive, so they don't really get a lot of defilers, so the timing is also pretty good.
Do you normally cut Corsair production at 7?
It depends what they do. I mean, people would say 5 with +1 is the best because it one-shots Scourge, but depending on what they do, I normally get more, and 7 is probably like the minimum. So it gives me like a chance if I miss micro to lose one or two, then I'll still have enough to one-shot Scourge. But if I see double gas early, or they want to go mutas or something like that, I normally make a lot more.
So you would have gone, yeah, you would have gone for more if they had done mutas. That's a lot of Corsairs.
Yeah, if because like I don't know if they'll get armor or not, and if you lose your Zers ever, and you let him gain air control, you can be in a really bad position, especially against someone who has really good micro.
Alright, well.
But you always should build one Archon with your Corsairs if you see a lot of mutas, and try and get rid of them quickly.
So this was Ziky's first attack. Your storms, they're okay. Not the best storms you've ever seen, but it's going to look like it's going to be effective enough to hold this first attack off.
Yeah, I actually was. I remember this part. I was double hotkey my unit. I had I think 2 trophies for units, like 1.5 or that, but I put them in the same hotkey, so I hotkeyed one group over the other, and that's why it ended up looking a lot sloppier than it was supposed to be.
And with your 7 Corsair force, there are no overlords anywhere close to that force. The DT's gonna easily be able to clean up. So, the Arbiter Tribunal's down, but you're not building the Arbiter. What do you need to wait for before you can start production?
You normally do it right away. It's just the fact that he engaged me like it's going right now, but the fact that he engaged at my 3rd, I was kind of distracted about it. But there's one big mistake I made when I push out to the middle, is that I let a few of my tupplers kind of die after their energy was gone because I figured I'd need them. You should always try and retreat them.